Well, welcome, fellow paranormal enthusiasts, and welcome to the next episode of Haunted Wisconsin. I'll be your host, Mr. Amaguli. Now, on this journey, I'm going to take you to a town called Brussels, just outside of Brussels, a small town just 30 miles north of Green Bay. I'm going to take you to a very special church called the White Star, one of only a few remaining in this state that actually practices spiritualism. So follow me on our next journey into the unexplained. Well, here we are at White Star Church, just outside of Brussels, the city of Brussels, and we're with Reverend Mary Taylor, and she's going to tell us a little bit of the history of this place, as well as what spiritualism is, and that kind of thing, and she's going to talk to you now.
Okay. I want to say we're 4 miles north of Brussels on Highway C.
Nice. Perfect.
Just in case people end up coming here. I guess one reason we're doing this is because it's a ghost show. But another reason is because the White Star Church of Brussels is a well-kept secret, a very well-kept secret. And it's been here for 130 plus years. And it was founded by a guy from De Pere, came up here. His name was John Everts. His wife was sick in De Pere, and they could not get any help, and I guess she was dying, and finally they found a faith healer. And this faith healer, we don't know her name because it was 130 years ago, but she told John Everts that after it was a she, I'm pretty sure, after she healed his wife, she told John that he could do the same thing and he should give it a shot, but he had to quit selling spirits and start working with spirits. And he, at the time, his wife was ill, he owned a tavern in De Pere. So he came out here to all the homes of these rural Belgian farmers in the Brussels area, township of Gardner, which this is, and he channeled and gave little talks. I don't know if he did healings at that time or not, but then the people were very pleased and he developed a following. And so all these Belgian farm people went down the highway. At that time in the 1880s, they went to the Catholic Church down the road. And because spiritualism as such, there were no churches here, it did not exist here in this spot at that time. So a whole group of people and their families followed John Everts, and they liked what he did. And he then was the people who followed him and liked him decided to build this church for him so he could do his spiritualist thing. So that's how the White Star Church got built. So that's John Everts, our founder. And they say he was a very good psychic and speaker and healer. And so then I'm going to point out some other people while we're here. This is Rose Dwarsiker, who was once a pastor of this church, I don't know, somewhere around the turn of the century. This is her husband, Alex Dwarsiker, who was also pastor of this church somewhere around the turn of the century. And this is a descendant, a cousin of these people, is our beloved Melton Dwarsiker. He and his brother were very involved here all their lives, and it is because of this man that this church is still here. And then I want to pan over here, if we can, to Reverend Clara Tweely, our beloved Clara Tweely. She was pastor of this church for 35 years. That's the history of our church. Well, the big question to anyone watching this is, what is spiritualism? Well, spiritualism is a belief that life continues after death, and that we who are physical are able to speak to those who have passed on into the spirit world. A typical service is we have about a 2-hour service starting at 10:30 in the morning, and we start out with a healing meditation. It's about a half hour, and where people come and they get to chill out and really relax and meet their guides. And what I do that's different from the other 115 or 120 years of this church is that I emphasize empowerment, whereas for about 115 years or so, the psychics who were the pastors just gave all the messages, and I do that. But also I teach people who come here how to, through the healing meditation, how to meet their guides. So that, and people really like that when then they leave here and then they have some knowledge of who their helpers are in the world. And then at the end of after the healing meditation, then I give a talk, maybe about a half-hour talk about one metaphysical topic or another. And then at the very end of every service, traditionally, we have done spirit messages here. So that's what I do every time, and I usually have a theme for my services, and sometimes it's angels and archangels, sometimes it's Native American spirituality, and we work with our personal spirit guides. We meet them here, we work with them, and I get messages from them and I give them to the people who are in the congregation, and I'm also training people who are in the congregation how to channel for themselves. So there's a lot of teaching going on at the White Star Church. Again, the emphasis being love, light, empowerment. That would be it. Plus with an underpinning of the elements of spiritualism, traditional elements of spiritualism. I wanted to share something from our hymnal. We do have a declaration of principles, and there are 9 of them in here, but I'm not going to go through those today. I think we'll post those on our website, and we can cover them then. But here's one of the definitions that we share in our services, at least once a year. Usually at Halloween we do share this. This is a traditional spiritualist definition, but I'd like to share today definition number 5. The phenomena of spiritualism consist of prophecy, clairvoyance, which is seeing spirit, clairaudience, which is hearing spirit. Another phenomena of spiritualism is gift of tongues, which is when people just channel songs and words from another language, or they sing in another language. This is very common in the Pentecostal churches. Another gift of another phenomena, I call them gifts of spiritualism, is laying on of hands, when you heal that way. Another phenomena of spiritualism is healing. Another one is visions. Another one is trance. Apports is another gift of spiritualism. That's when things move. If you like it and you're lucky, they move right in front of you. Or they move when you're not watching and you go back and they're gone. Other phenomena of spiritualism are revelation, levitation, raps, automatic and independent writing and paintings, of which we have one over there on the wall that we can look at. Spirit photography, where you see pictures of ghosts behind you after you've taken your picture, or you see orbs, which is evidence of spirit, and or angels, little orbs after the photo is developed. Spirit materialization, which is usually ectoplasm. Not too many people are doing that anymore, but it's really fascinating. Or psychometry, which we do here, and that is when we gather people's jewelry and watches and we touch them, and then we can read what's in them. And this definition says, a phenomena of spiritualism is any other manifestation proving the continuity of life as demonstrated through the physical and spiritual senses and faculties of man. But that's an automatic painting, and they were very big at the turn of the century. So that's one phenomena of spiritualism that we have on our wall, gifted to us probably in the 40s or 50s, I don't know. We do hear raps here at the church. Some people in the congregation hear raps on the wall. That's another phenomena. People hear spirit voices. They hear little bells. The vice president of the church hears children singing when he's here. I'm usually too busy to really listen. I know we have had seances at night where we hear spirit walking, and I have felt the pressure of the feet and the noise from walking up the stairs or on the carpet. So that's it. I think we covered everything. What do you think, Tim?
I think you did too. It's beautiful, yeah. Very good.
Okay. So that's it. Is there anything else? Can you think of anything that we...
No, I think that was everything.
And I think if you wanted directions, you know, you would look on our website, www.whitestarchurch.com. But 4 miles north of Brussels, Wisconsin, you take 57 out to Brussels and then go north on C4. It's 5 miles from the freeway. 5 miles north of the freeway, or 5 miles north of Brussels and the freeway. Yeah. Okay. So that's all.